What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Cool Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. In this one, we're going to be talking about something that we've kind of discussed previously on the channel, but I was going back and doing some research, and I saw something that really caught my attention that I remembered seeing a long while back, but it had never really been touched on since then, and it's, I think, even more relevant now than maybe ever before, because it's something that we now have a little bit more of an understanding as to what could happen here and what could end up being something that comes into play, and I'm talking about a World War II Call of Duty. Now, we've talked about this in a general perspective before, and that's where I kind of come at the idea of this is rehashing a little bit and reshaping something that we've discussed about already, but this actually comes from a report from Eric Hirshberg himself, the CEO of Activision, and this comes from a long while back, almost 2 years at this point back, in which he was talking at E3 with IGN about the idea of Call of Duty going back to a World War II setting. Now, of course, 2015 and E3 at that point was ramping up for Black Ops 3, the release of the title that November, so it wasn't anything too far back, but as we know, we didn't get anything in World War II in Black Ops 3 other than a World War little teaser flashback thing, if you want to call it that, with Sarah Hall and her mind via the DNI, but all in all, we didn't get anything with that regarding any real substance in a World War setting, and of course, we didn't get anything in Infinite Warfare either, so that then pushes on into the future, and it actually perfectly describes where we could be heading in the near future. So the discussion that Eric Hirshberg had with IGN, he described the idea of going back to World War II as certainly possible. In this discussion, once again at E3 in 2015, he mentioned the fact that sometimes it just happens that there's crossover between games, and sometimes there needs to be a pull away between games from different ideas and genres, and so he ended up saying there's definitely a chasing of innovation and new ideas within a well-worn genre that lead to people to similar conclusions like changing time periods. And of course, I think that opens up the opportunity for what is old is new again. Therefore, bringing back the old major genre appeal with a World War setting, coming back and becoming something that is brand new again. And we kind of see this now in the gaming industry as a whole right now, where World War is something that is, of course, taking the scene by storm once again, and being led by the likes of Battlefield 1, Sniper Elite, and with other indie developers bringing up games like Battalion 1944, Days of War, Enlisted. All of these things look absolutely fantastic, and there's definitely a surge in recent times within the World War genre and era for shooter games. So it's something that this could fit and fall in line with the agenda of Call of Duty perfectly, and perhaps that while this was not anything at the time to say allude to anything, perhaps at this point maybe Treyarch was already in the conceptual planning, like long-term planning. I'm not talking having anything to do with storyline or anything like that, but maybe at this point, they kind of had the next couple of years laid out after, say, Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare, and of course, Sledgehammer's title that is going to be released this year. Perhaps it was something that was already planned out, and they were just like, you know what? It's certainly possible, air quote on that we see a return to World War II. Now, of course, this all could be just theory and speculation and taken completely out of context, because let's be real, if something happens, it could be sheer coincidence that it does come up with this, or maybe the buzzwords that World War II happens and it just falls in line with the agenda once again. It could 100% not be something that is a future hint from 2015 up until, say, 2018. Personally, I don't even think that's the case, but I think it's something that they were well aware of the idea of going back, and it's something they may have already been looking into for that reasoning. I don't think that it's necessarily anything saying like, hey, you know what? Think about 2018. Treyarch's got Black Ops 3 this year, but who does World War II games absolutely phenomenally? Infinity Ward's got all that modern stuff, but the other OG was Treyarch. You know, maybe you should take a look at 2018. I don't think it's necessarily like that, but I think it's just necessarily in the idea and concept that this has kind of been in our face the entire time, and it might lead to something that is in the future. The openness that Eric Hirshberg has shown for quite some time with consideration to the 3-year development cycle that was already in the process of happening, that's something that they definitely could have started at this point with, say, a different era, and maybe World War II was already on the mind, already in the back of the planning books for what was upcoming in the future. And I think that this kind of gives me a little bit more hope that we'll see a World War II game, and that's something that some people may like, some people may not like, but all in all, it's definitely something that would be very nostalgic, it would sell well, and I think could fit the franchise very well once again, as it did before. So that said, I just wanted to bring this up. I wanted to get your feedback here on this because it's something that, once again, I was doing some research for a video, and I was like, I totally remember this, and I don't remember too much of a buzz around this as I initially thought it would be. So I was like, there still hasn't really been anything touched on this too much, so let's talk about it a little bit here in this one. So that said, drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this? Do you think that's something that may have been a future hint? Do you think it's something that might have just been kind of like buzzwords or whatever it may be? What do you think is coming up? Do you think we'll be getting a World War II return, as we mentioned was certainly possible, or do you not necessarily think we'll go back to World War II, not this year maybe, but next year following, or the year after that? I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below, but thank you dudes so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything Call of Duty, that including Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Mastered, Black Ops 3, COD 2017, all that good stuff. You know where to find it right here up in the channel. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to check out either of the two videos on screen right now, one will take you to what I believe is the possible future titles of Call of Duty 2017 to 2019, and what I also believe would be a great feature for Modern Warfare Remastered's content in the future. So that said, thank you dudes so much for watching. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. My name is Call of Duty WWII, take care and peace.